What's up? What's up? What's up? And welcome to the first edition of this show that I will dub the Man Experience. As always, I am Desmond Mosby, and I brought my fellas with me. We are -1 today, but we know that he is here in spirit. Shout out to our brother Jamon Haskins. We love you, man, and we will see you next episode. But fellas, say hi to the people and all those people out there that's watching us and joining us, and maybe tomorrow will be listening to us by way of podcasts, Spotify, Apple, whatever the case may be.
What's up? What's up?
Y'all looking good, man. I'm looking kind of rugged right now. Blake, you look like you had a fresh cut. Nando, you look like, well, Nando, you always look like you got a fresh cut. I feel like you get a cut like every. You say you need one? It looked good on you, bro. And Fish, you looking sharp, my brother, even with the gray streaks on the side. That ain't nothing but wisdom, my brother. Ain't got nothing but love for you, man.
It's a 1-year-old.
It's a.
I was gonna say, no, that's kids.
Yeah, for no.
Yeah, them kids will do it to you. Fortunately for me, I only got it right here, but it's definitely coming in. Well, like I said, we have rebranded this show. It is now called the Man Experience, and we will literally go and make some changes. We're gonna be working on some things here soon, but we got some phenomenal things going on right now. We have a Facebook, we have the YouTube stream, we have the Twitter going live. We have all of these things, and we're just excited to really be back in the groove of things, and really with this new branding, we're going to see what this does for us. Man's World was phenomenal, and we appreciate everything Man's World did for us, but we ran into the situation that the Man's World name was really a common name, right? Like, it's a common name. It was something that, we couldn't necessarily brand and make our own, and so we came together, and this name is kind of a unique thing for us. And so we're going to move forward with this. And we really hope that you continue vibing with us. Same 5 gentlemen here that's going to be talking to y'all about the same things that we've always talked about. Just a new name. And that's it. That's it. I ain't letting none of my brothers go. I hope they continue on this journey with me. Because this is fun, it's therapeutic, it's a whole host of things, and we're just going to keep riding this thing until the wheels fall off. But with that being said, obviously it is time for our week in review. Since the last time we saw each other, not much has really popped off in the global world or even in the United States, at least not in my opinion. But 2 things that I have seen recently, there was another Norfolk Southern train derailment in Ohio, which occurred yesterday, as a matter of fact. And the other piece is John Bones Jones. For all of you who are UFC fans, won the vacant heavyweight championship yesterday in a first round submission match. And he's doing his thing, man. That dude is a freaking monster, it seems like. But I don't want to take too long and dwell too much on the weekend review. Fellas, is there anything that y'all want to say?
I got nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing as far as the news. Nope. Not this week.
Anybody seen anything special? Anybody seen any good movies? I know last time we talked about the Ant-Man flick, which I still have not seen yet, but I look forward to certainly watching it. Creed 3 came out. I've seen a lot of positive things about Creed 3. There's a lot of people saying that it's really, really good. So I'm excited. I'm excited to hopefully get to see that hopefully sometime this weekend. Anybody seen it yet?
I got something, well, I guess, that I saw. Did you guys see John Morant?
Are you speaking on the situation with, I guess, the 17-year-old?
Yeah, but then I guess the next day he went on Instagram Live at 2 a.m. and flashed a gun.
So I heard about that whole situation.
I like John Morant too. I know he got a 2-game suspension. I saw, but
the kid is a baller. The kid is a baller.
This almost too, like, do you remember, I think it was a month ago when he got into the fight with Shannon Sharp, the altercation?
Yeah.
So like I just like I really like Ja Morant. Like I think he's probably going to be maybe a top 5 player, probably if he continues on the NBA. And I just hope that like he sees where he's at and like just makes better decisions. I really love. I really do. So that's just something
The
that
boy
like
can ball. The boy can seriously ball.
absolutely.
But didn't he make the comment not too long ago that he's good in the West? Ain't that a comment that he made? And then now we see that KD is now in Phoenix. There are a lot of teams obviously out in the West that are strong, perennial teams, great teams. And so he says that. We see what happens with KD going out there. We see what happens with all the other teams that are already out there. And now he does something like this, and yeah, I can't do nothing but do what my brother Fernando is doing and shaking his head.
Well, let me ask you this: who's the favorite in the West now? It's got to be Phoenix.
I would say so. But there's still always going to be, even if they were to win it, KD is always just going to seemingly have an asterisk by his name. Unfortunately, because the boy he himself can ball. Like he himself can ball. That's a fact. But he's just going to have an asterisk by his name because he went to Golden State, he went to Phoenix, he went to Brooklyn. He's going to these places where it seems like he's building these super teams or wanting to be around all-star players to get a championship. And so, there's always going to be that dark cloud that kind of hangs over him right now.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with you because the boy can ball.
Like he won a championship. It doesn't matter how you won it.
No,
there should be no asterisk.
No.
It's not. Yeah,
it doesn't matter how you won it unless you cheated.
Well, yeah.
Unless you cheated, it doesn't matter how you won it. And the boy, I mean, he's proven time and time again that he can ball. I can see if he was a terrible player, but the boy can make it happen. Yeah. And Dame Lillard scored 71 points in an outing. Gives new meaning to Dame time, but obviously he's always going to be questioned too because he does not want to leave that team. It doesn't seemingly want to leave that team.
Yeah. Well, this is also too like if you're going to put an asterisk next to Durant, does Robert Horry get an asterisk? For
all the championships he has.
Yeah.
He
doesn't deserve.
Yeah.
All these players won from themselves. There's no asterisk involved at all.
I just think that it's just a conversation that people obviously want to have because they have their favorites and obviously, they want to make an argument for whatever case may be, but it just is what it is. The boy can ball. Yeah. I can't ball. The boy can ball and I enjoy watching.
Yeah.
I hate to say it because I feel like this statement is overused, but it's also just a controversial take that you see in sports media to start conversation and to get clicks, right? Clicks and views. Because anybody who watches basketball knows that KD is one of the all-time.
Absolutely.
Yep.
There's no question, right? You ask somebody, is KD an all-time great? Their answer is going to be yes. Whether or not they think there should be an asterisk by his name, yes or no, that might be a separate answer or a different answer. But I bet if you ask every one of them, they're going to say he's an all-time great, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so to me, it's just a way to get people talking about something that they probably never even thought about. And then they're like, oh, maybe he doesn't deserve this because he went to a super team.
And let me jump on the bandwagon, right? Like, let me jump on the bandwagon and continue this conversation. So I don't
have any problem with players forming super teams, like when LeBron went down to Miami.
Yep.
I have no issue with it neither. As a matter of fact, it really could have benefited our Lakers back in the day.
No, I got no issues at all.
It really could have benefited our Lakers back in the day. But it's generally prominent in baseball, right?
Right. That's what I was just about to say. Nobody has problems with it in baseball. But when it happens in basketball, everybody's like, oh no.
And nobody ever says anything in football neither. Generally, it happens all across the other sports, but it's never been this big problem until it becomes basketball. And then it's like, oh, well, LeBron's ring chasing. KD has to go to super team to get a ring. And it's like, what?
I agree. This is all free agency. This is the whole purpose of free agency.
Players make the best decisions for themselves.
Correct.
And as they should.
As they should. Absolutely.
If the owners and the organization they're going to do that, then the players have the right to as well.
Absolutely, because otherwise they're not going to do anything but get taken advantage of, right?
The only difference I see is that on a basketball team, when it's 5 players, one person can make such a huge impact, right? You look at LeBron and how many years he took Cleveland to the finals just being LeBron. Right. And so I think if you're going to put a point in their side for anything, it would be just because of the impact that one player can have on a team. Just playing devil's advocate. I vehemently disagree with them. But if you were looking for a reason that they think like that.
see, we try to offer both sides to everything. We don't try to just lean one way or another. As a matter of fact, you have 4 men right here who have different opinions on everything. It works out. It works out. Bro, Fish, was that what you wanted to mention?
I love Ja Morant. So, to me, I saw it and I was like, I do not want anything to happen to him. I really do like him. I loved him coming out of college. I love him right now.
Obviously,
I think he's just an electrifying player.
He is. And he's got them kids doing it.
Yeah.
My son go down the hallway doing that mess, and I'm just like, I'm not coordinated enough. That's probably why I think it's the stupidest thing ever, because I can't do it. Anything else? Blake, I gotta hear your opinion. At least I haven't watched it, but I gotta hear your opinion on the Chris Rock special. Watch or not?
I would say definitely give it a watch. He definitely got his lick back for Will and Jada situation. He waited all this time, but he definitely spoke on it for sure. It was funny.
I myself and my wife watched some more stand-up special last night, so I'm excited to certainly watch this Chris Rock one. The Samoa one was pretty decent. So yeah, I'm excited about that. But is that all the news we have?
I had something last week, but I forgot what it was. This 24-hour news cycle, things go through so fast.
Oh, absolutely. It's a new thing every single day, right?
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna go in on that.
Nah, go ahead.
All right.
I think.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm gonna make a very long story short. I think it was they call it the CPAC. All the Republicans, super MAGA Republicans come together.
Trump was there.
They talk all that bullshit, same shit they talk about, and we're not gonna go in on that.
I didn't know there was a CPAC. No.
That's a waste of breath.
He was actually he was the closing, right?
I'm not mistaken. Remember all that. I just remember it was just a lot of them going off about the same topics that are irrelevant.
Got you.
At least some of them.
Got you. We know how you feel about it.
It's all good.
No, you was gonna say something.
Oh, I remember what it was. This is not really news related, but there was a picture that came out of Big Boy and 3 Stacks, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a new album. And I thought so too. But nah, it was just a rumor. They just took the picture just to have the picture. It was pretty cool. It was like both of them up on, how you get your shoes shine.
Yeah,
it was a pretty sick picture. And
wishful thinking.
Yeah,
very wishful.
You need to see a picture of them in the studio.
Right.
Like
yes. Yes, yes.
Somebody did say that Three Stacks has never been on never collabed with Big Boy on any of his single albums, and that might be happening. Like a new Big Boy album might come out, and Andre might do a feature on it, even though he's retired. He playing the flute in the airport or whatever he's doing.
He gonna be on the album playing the flute.
Bro, we need Three Stacks back, man. We need Outkast back. Like for the culture, for hip hop, we need Outkast back.
Man, he said he was done.
I can't. The dude, he's got so many verses left in him. He's got so many verses left in him, and I just can't get on the fact. Look, Jay-Z is still relevant. Nas is still relevant. Three Stacks, if he was to put out something today, would still be relevant, and it would the brother is smooth. The brother is smooth. I will say this, Fernando, to that point. Blake and I used to talk about which one of us was which in Outkast, and apparently he said I'm Big Boy and he's Three Stacks. And I disagree. I just feel like I'm a little more kookier than he is, but it is what it is. I'll take it. I love Big Boy. Big Boy can rap his tail off too. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Love Outkast.
So I want to hang out with Big Boy and go out with him, like parties and stuff like that.
Absolutely,
Andre,
bro.
I want to have conversations like this with.
I feel you. Anything else newsworthy? That was probably the biggest thing to talk about right there was Andre 3000 and Big Boy. I should have shut my mouth about everything else.
Yeah, I was disappointed. So I saw that picture and I was getting hyped. And then like a week later, somebody was like, no, it ain't happening.
We might have to do an episode on what's your favorite Three Stacks verse.
I'll tell you what, though, if they do ever come out with a new album, that is a show that I will not miss. I don't care what it's like.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think that's a show we should go to together.
Yeah.
That would be dope. All right. So, with that being said, I want to get into today's topic. Episode 5, now you're speaking my love language. Now, we've talked about in recent episodes, we've talked about a lot of things from our top 3 favorite TV shows to our top 3 favorite video games, just to kind of mellow things out. Obviously, we want to continue those topics because those topics are very fun. And obviously, for that very reason, we want to spread positivity. And we feel like those topics really, really, really bring people together and make them reminisce about great times that they had. But we also want to sometimes delve into some serious stuff. And we hope that you journey with us in some of these serious conversations that we plan on having. And so today, I have today's question, and it was on me, and I just thought I want to talk to my brothers about their love language, how they express love, how they prefer to receive love. I know this probably should have been a Valentine's episode, but I thought certainly it was appropriate for today that we could certainly talk about this. So, for those of you that don't know, the 5 love languages are actually 5 different ways of expressing and receiving love, and they are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. So I hope the fellas looked into this and determined how they prefer to receive love and how they give love. Or even Fernando and Fish can speak on maybe they had a conversation with their significant others to find out how their significant others prefer to receive love. But I'm going to start with my brother Blake, and I'm going to ask you, Blake, because the reason I'm starting with you, Blake, and I see you smiling, but the reason I'm starting with you is because the first thing I asked before we got on was, I hope everybody got their love language. And Blake was like, yep, I got mine. So, Blake, I want you to go first, my brother.
Why you even act like I responded like that? All right. So let's see. For me, As far as, I guess I would feel like the love language I give probably would be um, physical touch, quality time. Sometimes, like I've heard, like on social media, like women hear from men when they say that their love language can be physical touch, they automatically think it's sex, and it's not. It's non-sexual, stuff. It could be something as little as me rubbing your back when I walk past you. Some little stuff like that. It's not necessarily sexual in nature. Um, Quality time, I feel like it could be just me knowing what you like to do, and even if I don't really like it, I'm gonna do it because I know that's what you like. Um, let's see. As far as love language, I like to receive definitely physical touch. Same thing, quality time. We don't even have to do anything, crazy. I can be a homebody 1 minute. I can be willing to want to go out and do something spontaneous 1 minute. It really doesn't matter. One last one is gifts. Not anything, not extravagant gifts, but more so a gift where I knew that you thought of me when you got this. It could be something as little as a pair of socks that we talked about, when we were having a conversation, or some vice versa. I feel like.
So almost like when they saw that gift, they immediately thought of you and connected you to that gift, kind of as opposed to just going out and buying gifts.
Right.
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. So I want to uniquely tailor this gift to Blake because I know that he would appreciate it and I know that he would love it. It's not something maybe that's extravagant or expensive, but because I know that he maybe loves XYZ, I'm going to get something that is XY or Z related and he'll appreciate that.
Right. And I'm not the type of person like when I buy somebody a gift in that way, it's not something like I'm not looking for something in return. It's just something that, was done and it's literally not, gonna be brought up again.
Because that's your love language
That's
as
just what I was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Because that's your love language that you give.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. So physical touch, like I guess what's the most intimate thing that a lady could do or somebody, a significant other could do physical touch wise?
It could really be really just like holding hands, maybe, rubbing your back a little bit, something a little low key like that.
Okay.
Nothing wild,
Okay. Yeah, that holding hands gets me too.
I'm good with it, but some people are everybody is different. So you just have to know what the person likes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What is your least favorite?
Good question. I didn't think about that. Oh.
That is a good question. Ooh, he put me on the spot. Can you come back?
I feel like he's going to ask everybody that too.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
All right, we'll come back to it.
Give me a minute.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
you got me thinking about what my least favorite is.
Yeah, come back.
I think I know what my least favorite is. I think I know. All right, so while Blake is thinking about that, I see my brother Fish is going for the time being. My brother Nando, what's your love language?
I'm along the same lines as Blake. Mine's physical touch. I'm just going to repeat almost everything he said, honestly. It's not sexual in nature. Just if I'm laying on the couch, you just putting your foot on me or your knee touching mine, like just something like that. Something simple. If I'm walking by you and I just touch the small of your back, right? Just place my palm on it and just knowing that like that's me saying I'm here with you. You know what I mean? And so I like to receive it that way too. Like you walk by, you know, I'm a man, so I'm not so much like touch the small of my back, but you know, rub my shoulder or something like that.
I was
The
going to
one
ask,
thing,
is there a spot on you? Is there a spot on your body, I guess, that you like really like
yeah. So oddly enough, it'd be my forearm.
okay.
Andrea used to. This is one thing that like I always like. So she has very long eyelashes, and sometimes she would like lay close to my arm and blink her eyes, and like her eyelashes would just kind of just very lightly touch my arm, right? And like that's like a memory that I have, like, and like I said, it's not sexual in nature. It's just very like intimate and like
Yeah.
close and
Yeah.
like I felt very loved in that moment.
Yeah.
And I know
Absolutely.
she's the complete opposite of me. So her love language is words of affirmation.
Ooh.
And I'm I would say I'm pretty bad at that. I try to be better. Um, you know, you would think someone who is does a podcast, has been in a band, used to write like comedic essays and stuff like that. You would think I would be much easier with words of affirmation, but it's probably one of my tougher ones to show for
Does
her.
that mean it's also your least favorite or just
It's
a tough?
not. It's
Okay.
just a tough one. My least
Okay.
favorite is gonna be gifts. I don't
Oh,
like I don't like to receive gifts at all. It makes me feel awkward. You know, I appreciate the thought that people put into things, and I know that they mean it out of love. But for me, like I just don't like it. It I don't know how to explain it, but it just doesn't, for me. It just doesn't feel right. That's one of the other reasons why my favorite holiday is like Thanksgiving, because to me it's just like Christmas but without the gifts.
yeah. Yeah. I like that. And I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. Christmas without the gifts. Thanksgiving.
So
So do you
I love. Go ahead.
so coming from someone who is the opposite as far as gifts, do you feel like you have to be fake when you receive the gifts?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, it's like I'm the one, like I'm gonna call the person. I'm like, you ain't even, you not feeling it for real. Like I already know you. Like let's
So now you know, Blake, if you're getting onto a gift.
And like I've gotten things that have been amazing, right? Like people have given me really thoughtful gifts. Andrea, my family, my friends, everybody has gotten me things that have been the things that I keep and treasure like to this day. But for some reason, it just feels weird to me.
and
I
it's
can never explain it.
and it's not saying that you don't appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
no, I appreciate it.
because you do. It's just it's for this topic, it's not the way I like to receive
Right,
love. You
right.
know what I mean? Like it's
Yep.
not the be all end all. If you don't get me something, I'm not going to be upset. If you do get me something, you know, I'm gonna appreciate it. So I'm with you on that. Gifts, receiving gifts is my least favorite. I
Yeah.
don't like receiving gifts.
You know, when
Either.
I greet y'all, know this, when I greet y'all in person and stuff, I look, I know it's always viewed as like the bro hug, but like the handshake, arm, like to me, like that's how I
Physical
show
touch.
love. Right, right.
Yeah.
So to me, like that's why it's especially important when I meet another man. The handshake is the first thing that I think about when they shake my hand. Like I know it's stupid and it's old school, but like if you don't have a firm handshake, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I guess for me, the gifts aspect was always it always came off to me. And I'm not saying this, don't take this as this is right or whatever the case may be. But in my mind, the gifts piece was always more materialistic to me,
yeah, yeah,
like the things like the physical touch and the words of affirmation and the quality time. Those were things that I always saw that personally I valued, because they seemed more meaningful to me. Anybody can go out and buy a gift in my mind. But to be genuinely there in the moment with somebody as quality time, or to offer words of affirmation for somebody who really needs it, that just came off as just, it comes off as genuine love to me. Not saying that gifts aren't, to each his own, but to me personally.
And gifts are meant to be thoughtful. So I understand why it's a love language and why people can appreciate that, right? In former lives, have had previous girlfriends that gifts were like a big deal to them, right? And then we're not talking about like extravagant things, just little things, like things that you remember. And so I know that it's more important to be thoughtful with your gifts. So whenever somebody's like, "Oh, what should I get so and so," or "What should I get my good friend?" and I'm always like, three things. Get them three small things. Something that makes you both laugh. Something that makes you like shows love, and then something that you can eat. Right, the three things, like laughing, love, and eating. Right, because it's going to make you think about what that person likes instead of being like, "Oh, let me get them these beats, these this MacBook or something like that," right?
Absolutely.
You're like, all right, what do they think is funny?
Absolutely.
All right, what do they like to eat? Like, so it's all about thinking about them instead of like, okay, let me get them this Xbox, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you can get them that Xbox too, but get them something that they would. Right. Or PS5. I don't know if Blake's down below for y'all, right?
But I definitely feel you. I had got to a point that for my wife, so I'm always creating. So generally for her, I'm just trying to find something unique, because I feel like for her it's romantic for me to do the things that I did when I first met you. I was all into writing poetry, and so those things I couldn't stop, and so I found other creative ways. Like I know one year I gave her the 52 reasons why I love you, and I took a deck of cards and on each one wrote 52 reasons why I loved her and had them laminated and made it into a book. And it's just for me doing little things like that as far as gifts. If I can create it, I feel like that's a way that I can give. Fish, my brother back.
It's
you all right?
Baby.
Ain't no
toddler.
We figured.
I'm looking. She doesn't want a nap.
So what's your love language, my brother? How do you receive love, and how do you give it? And to Fernando's question that he added, and Blake's gonna have to answer this one too. What's your least favorite?
Oh gosh, right now, babysitter, watching the kid. But no, just more of a affirmation. I would say mine is
okay.
Just words are big. Actions, sort of like a big thing. That's what I would say mine is. That also is the least too. Like just things sort of like change as well. So, like words and actions are a big thing. So it's like a good and a bad.
Yeah.
I would say those would be my two biggest things. Jesus. Yeah, Brooke is being nuts right now.
We understand. If you need
we understand, bro. And if you need to step away, feel free, man.
Yeah,
I just hope that
don't give Blake an excuse.
I just don't want her to crawl out of the crib. I'm sure you guys have done that too.
Yeah.
She's at that phase right now.
Crawl out the crib, crawling over the gate, crawling over everything, crawling into everything.
Yeah. But I would say, words are a big thing to me.
Love it, bro.
I'm sure both, yeah.
Before I get into mine, Well, before I get into mine, I have a question for all three of y'all. Has it ever changed for you? Like, was there ever a time that maybe for Nando that gifts was maybe it for you? For Blake, maybe physical touch wasn't it for you. Like, has it changed, or have you always kind of recognized that this is the way, for me?
I'd say it's always been constant for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty much always been the
It hasn't
same.
really changed.
Yours has changed?
No.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't. But what I can say is that I feel like one issue with me is reciprocity when it comes to those things.
Mhm.
But I have to remember that the person is only going to, you know, I guess love you in the way that they're able to, regardless of what you. But yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
That
Yeah,
is a
it's
whole
like,
lot. That's a deep topic too. Oh my, we might have to have episode 2 on this conversation for that
But yeah,
particular question.
yeah, it's you got to learn that. I feel like.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
like everything, right? It's a give and take. It's a
yeah,
compromise. Um, Everybody says relationships are hard work, and it's true. Um, but it's that give and take, right? So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we could talk about, like you all said, this could be a whole nother episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean,
yeah.
there comes that time where both parties have to come together and be able to communicate those things, right? Like, and feel comfortable enough communicating those things. But again, this could be a whole nother
I know
conversation.
I keep like, oh, I should say no, no, shut
And,
up.
I- and maybe we do another episode on this particular thing, because this is something that we don't talk about generally. But for me, I really have only identified one. I do love words of affirmation, but I feel like quality time is really truly the way that I prefer to receive love. Anybody that knows me, and that's just not just from my wife, but that's even with you all, right? Like, I value the time that we spend together. It was weekly, but now it's every 2 weeks. I value that time. I value the time when we are able to come together, when we can get Fish and Blake down here. But for our game nights that we do, Nando, I value that time. I value the time with the people that I love and care about the most. Um, because my time is precious to me. My time is valuable. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily manage it well. I need to do better about that, but my time is valuable and precious to me. And so I try to find those moments where I can spend time with the people that I care about. And like Blake said, to Blake's point, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, right? Like, it's just me at times with my wife, and maybe we're just laying down, and maybe we started a series that we're watching on television. But it's the fact that we've chosen to allocate that portion of the time to spend together. I've gotten to a point, and I know I've shared this with you all, that I am at a phase in my life where I even value the time with my children. I plan a weekend with each one of them individually. Obviously, I'm always spending the other time with them, but individually, I say, hey, this particular week, Jay, it's your day on Saturday. Aaron, it's your day on Friday. Jackson, it's your day on Sunday. And you get to choose what you want to do with dad. And that's also an opportunity for you to share with me something that you want to share with me that maybe you don't want to talk about any other time. So I like, time is very important to me. And if I could do better about managing it, I would be better. But yes, quality time. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Second would probably be words of affirmation, because sometimes I do need to pick me up. And Tanisha, my wife, is very, very good about words of affirmation and communicating that stuff with me. So I appreciate that. Honey, I shouted you out. Love you, baby girl. But words of affirmation. And like Fernando said, my least favorite is gifts. I don't need that. Like, sometimes I'm talking to Tanisha, and she'll say, "Well, what do you want for this particular occasion, like my birthday?" And I'm always so caught up in getting stuff for our house. Like I'll say, "Oh, we need new curtains," and she's like, "That's not a gift for you. That's a gift for the house." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you could do me a favor by buying it because I really don't want to buy it right now." So I'm not really a gifts person. As a matter of fact, people sometimes get mad at me because I'll be at in-laws' houses for holidays and stuff and open a gift, or I'll hold on to the box until everybody else open their stuff, and everybody's looking at me like, "Are you going to open that?" Oh, yeah, at some point I will. But I love giving gifts. Each one of you has always received something from me, and I love giving them. But I just don't like receiving them.
Look, you got me a scarf, a 49ers scarf, and I know as a Dallas fan, it probably killed you a little bit inside to get that for me. And I appreciate it so much.
Bro, anytime, because I got you a 49ers scarf. Anytime I get you anything 49ers related, or I get Fish anything Chicago Bears related, or I get my stepdad anything Redskins related, I feel like our season is terrible and we're performing poor because that stuff is sitting in my house. Like it's like a bad omen. Like I got all this Redskin stuff and this Bear stuff, and this 49 stuff in my house, and it's got to get out because that's the reason why we're losing right now.
Now, have you ever bought anything Duke related?
No. And the reason not, because I don't think I've ever. Let me not say that. I'm not gonna say that I've never had a friend that I didn't like enough that was a Duke fan. Because I've had plenty of friends that were Duke fans, but I've never got them anything Duke related. That's the ultimate. As a matter of fact, UNC lost to Duke yesterday. And I was scrolling through Facebook and saw somebody post that, and that was the fastest that I've ever scrolled through Facebook. Because I don't want to see that. Anybody that knows me knows that while I am a Cowboys and a Lakers fans, the Celtics are not my most hated team. The Redskins and the 49ers are not my most hated team. My most hated team just so happens to be the Duke Blue Devils, simply because they've never, ever produced a truly, truly phenomenal NBA player. And I'll argue that forever. Some good ones, not no phenomenal ones, not no ones that had the number 23.
Nope.
Oh, that reminds me of, no, I'll save it to the end. I'll save it to the end.
Well, let me ask you this with your kids and Blake, for you too, like, especially with, Desmond Fernando with your kids, and do any of them have their love language like a different way? Do they produce it a different way? Is one more words of affirmation? Is one more like physical,
Absolutely. Yeah. I think all of them honestly are different.
Yeah. I actually think Aaron is more so receiving gifts. I think Jackson is quality time. And Jay is
mysterious. I don't know.
Yeah, like as much like
that's the homie, but we don't.
But what I will say to Jay's point, what I found out about Jay is those moments that he and I are together, is like some of the best moments ever, right? Like, because like it's a time for him to be open and seemingly his genuine self, and like he'll be quirky, he'll tell a joke. Maybe I won't get it. Maybe I won't think it's funny. But I still obviously love my son. And it's an opportunity for him to be his true, unique self. Like, he doesn't feel like he has to fake or whatever the case may be, or be any other way. This is my opportunity to be around my dad, and he appreciates and loves me for being this person. So yeah. I would say his more so probably leans towards quality time. It's not gifts. I will say that, because you can ask Jay what he wants for Christmas. We asked Jay. Tanisha asked Jay one year, and I'm sorry I'm talking a lot, but I got to get this story out. Tanisha asked Jay one year, "What do you want for Christmas?" Tanisha is so bent on making sure that they have phenomenal Christmases. So one year she wanted to get him like the new iPhone, like the new I think it was like the iPhone 12 or whatever, XR, whatever the case may be. Jay had an iPhone 8. Jay looked his mom dead in the face and said, "Mom, I've got an iPhone 8 that does everything I needed to do. I don't need no new iPhone." Jay is not a gifts person either whatsoever. And I mean I really appreciate that about him.
That's good.
Blake got a question he got to answer though. His least favorite.
I'm gonna have to clarify when I answer this question. Least favorite is words of affirmation when the actions behind the words are not matching.
Ooh,
Kind of like that. I'm good with it. I appreciate words of affirmation, but if the situation is where what you're doing is not
it contradicts.
the same, then I don't know how I feel about that.
It contradicts.
Yeah. So you tell me you love me, all day, but then the actions are not displaying that. So I don't know. But I guess every situation is different though. So So it's not to say that couldn't be something that could be a favorite, but that's my specific opinion on that one.
So it potentially could be a favorite if the person was backing it up with their actions.
Yes.
Ladies out there, you hear that? If you want to be his lover,
chill.
Oh man. Like y'all said, we could literally go on and on about this conversation. I feel like I have a question to Fish and Nando about their significant others, but I don't know how to phrase it. I don't know how to put it.
Someone's ready to get up.
You said what?
I said someone's ready to get up.
Oh, Brooke, she's ready to get up.
Yep.
You okay with showing her?
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah. Hold on.
This the man experience baby, y'all. Y'all meet the man experience baby. Y'all ain't know.
Got a kid.
Listen. Her father's on here, but she also got 4 uncles. So when she get older, we gonna be there, and we gonna take care of whatever need to be taken care of. I think Tanisha's
Adam beats.
Huh?
Adam beats Nando.
Huh? So these are Andrea's old XMs. She switched to Beats.
She likes
for some reason these kept disconnecting from her phone. That works fine for me. So I was like, well, I'll take them. I mean, if you're not going to use them, and they've never disconnected.
Bro,
so
I get it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say she used them for work, and so she needed something obviously that wouldn't disconnect constantly.
I got a question for you. You mentioned the eyelashes. Does she still do that? Like from time to time?
So when you were talking about time, right? Like I was going to mention that what a lot of people never tell you when you become adult, you got 2 currencies, money, and the one that you never hear about is time, which is way more finite, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And so because not that she doesn't want to, but because so much time is spent, between work and the kids, there's not a lot of time that we get to sit and just enjoy our company to each other, right?
Yeah.
And so it has happened recently, but nowhere near the frequency that it used to before we had kids.
Bro, just to see the smile on your face though as you talk
Yeah,
about it.
it's a very fond. I won't say I'll say memory, but you could like to me when somebody says memories, to like implies that it doesn't happen anymore because
Yeah.
it does. But just it's something that always made me feel. It's something so small, but it's something that made me feel very loved.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
See the bad part is, I think her least favorite is physical touch.
Oh, and
Right, and so
that being
that's my favorite, right? So
yeah.
we're kind of at odds there when it comes to that. So like, not saying that she minds, when I walk by her, touch her arm or whatever it might be, but that's just, I think I would say that's probably her least favorite. Honestly, like I think that's Xavier's least favorite too. His is quality time. I would say that Shalice's is probably acts of service. Isaiah is definitely gifts. Boom. Um, I don't know what hers is yet. It's weird.
It'd be interesting to find out though and watch and see.
Yeah.
Because Boom is how old is Boom?
She'll be 12 in May. So.
I do say, and I don't know if she's watching, if Tanisha is watching, so I would love if she commented, but I would say that hers is words of affirmation. And the reason I say that is because I think sometimes, just like me, she can be in a low place, and sometimes she really just needs that building up. I would also say that hers may be also quality time, and it may actually also be gifts. Oh, but physical touch in the beginning was a no. People used to tell us, I'm gonna tell y'all this. People used to tell us, and I might have shared this with you, Blake. But people used to laugh because they was like, y'all ain't no couple. Y'all don't hold hands. Y'all don't do stuff. Y'all don't hold hands. Y'all ain't never seen. We'll never see you kissing. Y'all ain't out other displays of affection. None of that stuff. Physical touch was not Tanisha's thing. I think Tanisha was just like, I'm with him. He's my man. Boom, 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 boom. Forget what everybody else think. I ain't gotta hold his hand for him to know and for y'all to know that that's my boyfriend. So I was hoping we would see the baby.
Yeah, sound like she was being a little angry today.
That sound like her love language is quality time, fish. Oh, well, I definitely don't want to hold us any longer than what we should. We probably did this episode in under an hour if there are no other discussion that needs to take place. Oh, there she is. Nope. We got 7 minutes of this.
Yeah, she has a diaper change. That's how she wanted to crawl out of the crib.
It's precious.
Oh my goodness, she just I've never seen poop like that before. I swear to God. But yeah, it was rough. But she's good. I need to feed her here, so she can stay on until the end of the episode.
We're gonna wrap it up, bro.
The cameo.
Yep.
Well, we do appreciate the cameo, Brooke. Hi, Brooke. It's good to see you.
Say hi.
We your uncles. She's like, not now. I just woke up. I just got up. I just had a change. Y'all leave me alone right now. I understand. Well, with that being said, you saw the fellas talk about their love languages in a deep, meaningful conversation. And it could be something that we expand upon in a future episode. I don't know. Maybe when my time comes again, we'll go deeper and dive deeper into what we can talk about here. But this episode has got to come to a close at some point. I know my brother Fernando was itching to say something, so I want to give him the opportunity though to say what he wanted to say.
I'll save it for next time.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. So, anybody have any closing words they want to say?
No, sir.
We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We hope that you continue to ride on this journey with us. From the man experience, it's always a good time to experience man. We'll see y'all next time. Peace. Wait a minute. Before we go, we had a comment, and I got to put it up. It was my wife, Tanisha Brown Mosby. No gifts, depending on day. It's words, time, or touch. So I was correct. Baby, I know you so very well. I love you, boo-boo. As always, again, we'll see you next time. I believe my brother Blake has next time's episode, so he's going to let us know. We'll post it. Follow us, as you can see right there, on Twitter, YouTube, MySpace, just joking, Facebook, and check out the podcast. If you weren't able to watch us today, the podcast will be loaded up eventually. We'll see y'all next time. We love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Bye-bye.
Peace.